Howdy. Well, I think we've received enough information now that we can comfortably talk about talents heading into the war within. My official position on talents is that they've been changed so much that I'm just numb. My preference is that you get a class with a set of abilities and then you learn to master that set of abilities. Picking and choosing, to me, often leads to classes overlapping in abilities and homogenizing. I really do like for classes to have strengths and weaknesses. And what I think has happened in retail WoW is that in a lot of ways, classes are just way too similar and they're all able to do kind of the same thing. We'll get to that. Now, there's a lot of angles to talents, and what I always find so fascinating is while it doesn't affect the casuals at all what happens with talents, other than maybe they're disappointed in the theme, but they're not worried about how it's going to impact the meta or how relevant their class is going to be compared to other classes. They just run around and do what they want to do. They always seem to be very vocal about the talents, which is kind of an interesting dynamic. This is why I'm so grateful for Season of Discovery as a retail player, because it's given all of those World of Warcraft players who, in their heart's desire, just want to play 5-button WoW so bad. And they can go in there with all their buddies and everybody can hit their 4 or 5 buttons a few times, dodge 1 or 2 boss mechanics, and they get to do in-game now, okay? And it's great. And they're loving that, and we should just have it for them. And I'm so grateful that it's there for them. And what that does is it prevents those of us in retail with good hand-eye coordination from getting our characters pruned and clipped down to mobile game level. It always drives me crazy when people that play casually complain about the complication of retail WoW. And I swear, it's all my friends that play the most casually that are the most vocal about it. Come play some retail WoW. I don't want to, it's too complicated now. Oh, really? Are you doing high-level Mythic Plus or high-level rating? Because it's actually really not, if that's not the case. I'll prove it to you. We're going to come in here into a Paladin build, and we'll grab Flash of Light and Word of Glory, and then 2 spells from the Holy Tree. We'll grab Holy Shock and Beacon. There we go. All right. I got a Season of Simple Jack build here all set up. And you come in here, we'll queue up a Time Walking. Oh, I have a Shara. I love this one. Get it up. I like the energy. Look at that. Jumping around. Okay, here we go. Let's kill that music. That's going to cut me. Get this up. Everybody gets a little love. Get out of that. And we'll just click these abilities because that's what we can do. We don't even need to worry about anything. For those of you out there, I can't heal, it's too complicated, or you're too worried about what's going to be or whatever. Watch and learn. Let's zoom out a little bit. Here it goes. Big scary boss time. Now, if you want to get real freaky, you can actually shock the boss. And then look, we'll come in here and we'll hit him right in that tail with that hammer. That's going to hurt like hell. You piece of shit. Oh, we could. A lot of AoE damage going out. No problem. We'll just heal into that beacon. Boss down. I mean, this is retail's greatest strength, is that there's all levels of challenge to the content. For those who are just unable to hit more than 4 buttons, you've got this kind of stuff. And look, if you complete this week, you get 454 gear. I mean, that's damn good gear. And for what you're doing, running around doing casual content and fishing, the stuff that I do, that's plenty good. I mean, that's one of Classic's big drawbacks, right? Is that if you're one of those people who gets completely bored out of their mind hitting the same 4 abilities over and over, there's really not harder content. But I think that's what a lot of people like about it too, because they get to compete at the highest level. And so the simplicity is also a great equalizer. Here we go. And again, remember, really these auto attacks, see? Getting in there, hitting her right in the tail. These Naga really screws them up. Oh, that's not good. I should have got out of that, but it doesn't even matter. There we go. Look how great these dungeons look. Aren't WoW dungeons just incredible? It's amazing to me that no other game can make good dungeon content. I mean, Guild Wars 2 had a few cool bosses and stuff, but it just, the controls and the interactions didn't feel as fluid. The biggest, I should have grabbed Pony for one of my spells, honestly. Just keeping up with everybody's being the hardest challenge here. Click on myself. There we go. Sorry. Sorry, tank. I grabbed some stuff. Just bam! Turn him into crab cakes. Oh, we're going. We're just going. Get up here. Give him some of that auto attack. It's going to get a little harder. There we go. And we're on our way to the next boss. These dadgum murlocs. Someone's going to aggro him. It's going to be me. It's going to be me. It's always the healer or the hunter. I can't help it. I got a nice round ass. It draws the crowds. Do we got what it takes? Bam! Bam! I'm wrecking this guy. Get this other leg over here. Now he's really hurting. Get him on this big toe right here. God, that would hurt like hell. Do some healing. And we're done. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. On to the last boss here. I really should have grabbed Pony. Okay, it's a water guy. I don't know how this mace is going to really hurt a water guy. Feels like it really shouldn't. But we're going to get in here and give him some good news anyway. Do a little healing. There you go. There you go. Almost got him. Pow! There we go. Give a little hoorah to the crew. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Give this tank a high five. Good job. So for those of you complaining about how complicated retail is, all you need to do is grab you a simple jack build and start there. Oh, and look what I looted, Season of Discovery players. It's another ability called Judgment that I could weave into my rotation. I don't know, are we getting to Burning Crusade level of complexity here? Is this where it shuts off? I never know. And for those saying you can't play retail because it's way too complicated now, LOL. See, for a lot of us, the complication is what makes WoW so awesome. People are always like, if I wanted to PvP, I'd go play another PvP game. But there's not another PvP game out there. Pull up some HUD here. That's gonna let you feel like a paladin. I mean, what other game can you play where you get to be a paladin and heal and have all these abilities like sack and bop for my boy right there? Oh, rogue. Lay on hands going out, get this tears up. I'm trying to keep that rogue up. We'll see. He's making me work for it. There we go. And then what do we do? Oh, look at my man here. We're gliding in. And this is what's awesome about WoW. And everybody always wants to get rid of this part of it. It's like, we only need 5 or 6 buttons. It's too complicated. Fuck that. I'll most certainly agree there's too much stuff going on the screen and that the UI is overly complicated. I mean, there's plenty of stuff we can agree on, but I don't need 3 or 4 buttons. And the ability to give people freedom or sack or use my searing glare to shut off a bunch of enemy damage is my favorite thing about WoW PvP, and it's what keeps me coming back because there's nothing like it. So I think at this point, honestly, we're just going to have to leave the community divided. Give that guy his seasons. Watch, I'm going to keep this man up. He knows he's going to get it. Don't you ever talk about taking my cooldowns away from me. I love all my cooldowns. And I'm willing to give up a few here and there if we really must, but you better be real careful. Look up there at the beautiful lumber mill secured. That's what I'm talking about. Woo, I'm hot. I'm burning up, family. Trying to get away. Oh my God, I am burning up, guys. Oh. Oh, I'm back up. Got that soul stone. Ha ha, hordes. Oh God, I'm getting clapped. That's why I'll never give up on my WoW PvP, because there's nothing like it. And all the abilities going off and these guys using their abilities. I got you. I got you. Throwing out all this awesome stuff at each other is just too much fun. So it's best at this point, I think, if we just keep the communities divided. We'll have retail and mobile. Beautiful. How we do up here? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I love, baby. Bringing that victory home for the blue team. That's not to say that I don't agree with the classics on some things. One area where I think there is entirely too much overcomplication is in spell interaction. So for example, let's pull up good old Flash of Light. Expend a large amount of mana to quickly heal for 35,000. But then if you come into the new Lightsmith tree, you've got a paragraph explaining what the ability does. And of course, all of these things come with 2 charges. I don't think people get overwhelmed with, I have an ability to heal, I have an ability that does damage, I have a protective ability or freedom. I don't think that's what overwhelms people. I think for a lot of people, it's just the level of interaction, and it's twofold. On the one hand, these abilities now, you hit this ability and then it does something, and then on top of that it does this other thing, and then on top of that it shoots you into the sky, and then you land and it sends out AoE healing. It just has like 15 parts to this one spell. And then on top of that, there's so much shit happening on your screen that, you know, having all these cool abilities doesn't matter because you can't see shit anyway. So while I greatly enjoy having a nice range of abilities to use and help my team win, I completely agree that the level of interactions, and even more than that, the amount of interactions taking place on my screen is completely over the top. You take your abilities and interactions going off everywhere, and then you take your teammates' abilities and interactions going off, then throw in your UI and the enemy team interactions or the boss mechanics, and your screen is an absolute shit show. And they just keep making more shit that's going off everywhere, when I don't think that these necessarily make the classes more special or better. And what has all of that effort and paragraphs of abilities ultimately led to? Well, it's led to us all playing the exact same way, where you pop your steroid and fit as much as you can into your steroid window as possible. There is not one class in this game that doesn't depend on using a steroid window. So rather than it being unique, it's actually homogenized throughout every single class and spec in this game now. For paladins, you hit your wings, you come in here and you use your abilities and you get to work. For warriors, this would be avatar. For mages, combustion, and the list goes on and on. But the whole thing is just using a steroid window. If you go to play a new class, you can often just swap where you put abilities. So this will be your steroid, this would be your AoE, and look, some of that overlap is going to happen. But the idea that this new talent system creates interesting and unique play styles, I think there's some holes in that argument. I think in a lot of ways, these talent systems have led to the homogenization of classes rather than creating unique and interesting specs with strengths and weaknesses. And to prove my point about homogenization, let's just talk about the number of pet classes in this game now. And most certainly, once War Within launches, have you guys seen everybody that's gotten pets now? Holy pets, Batman! Someone needs to ban energy drinks in the development team room because this is getting out of hand. Everybody talks about revamping Azeroth. You better make the stables the size of Old Town to fit all these pets in. I mean, hunters have always had pets, but I got to tell you, just the theme overall for me has gotten wacky. I always thought being a Beastmaster was about having a pet that you bonded with, and you and that animal had this unbreakable bond, and you hunted, and pretty much you guys were inseparable, and you just did everything together. You had each other's back. But no, not in Warcraft anymore. Now it's about gathering dinosaurs and hellhounds, and not even just one that you care about, but you can have two, and then other ones pop out, and it's just like pop a pet. And it's crazy immersion breaking in my experience. It's like, I play a hunter and I love pets. Oh, really? Is that why you gather everyone that you can and shove it in a stable? Please. And warlocks are getting more pets and pet interaction. Druids, with their Treant Master tree here, now also have a pet spec. Shamans, who have a pet spec with enhancement where they summon pet wolves. Now, elemental and restoration shamans can summon up ancestor pets, and monks are now chi DKs. This entire Conduit of the Celestials tree is pet interactions, and to top it off, as a keystone talent, you know how DK summon an army of undead? Well, now monks summon an army of celestials. I mean, non-pet classes, how many are we down to now? I think we're down to just the stealthies, the zugzugs. I was going to say priests, but then I remember they've got that little mindbender Shaw thing, so they go in the pet spec bin as well. The training wheels don't have any pets, but I think there was a time when they summoned an extra demon hunter with I-beam or something. And of course, the greatest of these, the glorious, noble, majestic, fabulous paladin. We've got no need for pets in our awesome kit. Just remember, brothers and sisters of the light, next time they start talking about screwing with talents, we all gotta pop our divine shield, lest we too become a pet spec. I think the good news is, no matter what's coming in our World Soul Saga, we'll have a legion of ancestors, ghouls, celestials, pigs, dinosaurs, all types of shit to stand beside us. Maybe we should change the title from War Within to Pets Within. There's been a lot of changes to talents through the years. I don't know if there's really a right or wrong way, but I am starting to see some very consistent patterns in the development of these abilities and classes. And my favorite thing is when classes have defined strengths and weaknesses. High damage, low mobility, great healing, better cooldowns, whatever it may be. Those ideas don't always transfer well into metas and competitive gameplay, but for me, that's the most fun, when classes actually feel different and unique rather than everybody having this steroid-infused fest that we've kind of gotten to at this point. And there are still plenty of unique spells among classes that you get some deviation when you play them. However, the homogenization to me is getting a little concerning at this point, especially in regards to pets. And I hope it's something that they'll consider when they inevitably screw with the talents again. Because as all of us know who've played any amount of Warcraft, they got to screw with the talents. That's all for now. Oklahoma out.